Hello, hello. I've arrived. Artist, archivist, future man, and tonight, itinerant chef. You can call me Tiberius Vanderfield. Hello, hello. So, today, Arknights. Not a whole lot to be said beyond that, I suppose. But yes. So, you may have noticed that there wasn't a stream yesterday. So in the end, the prior engagement that I had ended up to be a little bit more than I was, or rather, it ended at the time that I expected it to, but at the end of it, I decided, you know what? No, I don't think we're streaming today. But yes, it is still possible that I could stream on future Mondays, but I think that I'm not necessarily going to commit to it. But yeah, I think I'm just going to change the schedule. Yes, on that note, we'll be playing Arknights tomorrow as well. Then Thursday, once again, as planned, we are going to be playing Atelier Yumia. Then Friday, Saturday, we'll be playing some more Arknights. But yes, I don't anticipate we'll necessarily need to. I suppose rather than saying that we will play Arknights on those days, I'd say that we are planning on Arknights on those days. Once again, we're only going so far as I only care to go so far as the end of the event itself. But yes, the extra stages and whatnot beyond that are not necessarily, I should say, I'm only interested in the end of the story content for the event. And the extra stages beyond that are not necessarily anything that I'm going to focus on for the stream. But yes. So if we proceed at the rate that we did last time, we could very well be done with this event by the end of tomorrow. In which case I'll need to figure something else out. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we could go right back into the story. Because yes, once again, I'm planning on taking a break after Act 1 of Arknights, but we're not at the end of that yet, so. But yes, anyway, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. We'll come to these conclusions at some point. No need to worry about them right now. Right now, we have a game to play. So yes, let's conclude business. Night is now. Arknights is now. If you're here, you're watching Arknights. But yes, tomorrow should be around 8:30 p.m. once again. But yes, let's see, 8:30 p.m. But yes, Thursday and Friday, you can expect to be closer to 9:30 p.m. I'm going to try, and I'm not going to, again, make any promises, but I definitely think it's doable to start at 9, and I'm going to see about doing that. If I'm really efficient with getting everything in order, we could start even before 9, probably, but again, I don't necessarily want to say that I'm going to. But yes, anyway, then Saturday, you can expect to be, once again, around 8:30 p.m. But yes, so beyond that, that should be basically everything that needs to be gone over. So let's get right into the game. Oh. Alright, hold on. Turns out I had something not set up properly. Now I've got the game. It should be sharing. I think there's an issue with my capture card. I've had similar issues where it simply doesn't display before. When it does, it usually just needs to be turned off and turned back on again in OBS. So, oh, there we go. Alright, now, Arknights. Yes, so, you may notice that this isn't the game area, this isn't the event area. But yeah, once again, on the 8th day of the event, or on the 8th check-in, I should say, of the event, you get another free 10 roll, so I figure we might as well use that. It will expire if you don't use it at the end of this, or by the end of this headhunting banner. So, even though this isn't something I necessarily care to do on stream usually, we might as well. Alright, all 4 stars. I don't think we are terribly concerned about the results. Anyway, so, moving on. Yes. So, we are up to ET6. Also, one other thing I noticed. Yeah, I actually noticed this a little while ago. But while we did... Oh, wait, was it? Okay, it might be... I remember one of these. Oh, right, it was Golden Carrot. So yes, you may notice that we've cleared Golden Carrot with a 6-star rating. Yet, despite the fact that we've cleared it with a 6-star rating, and, you know, I have video proof of having done that, I can't auto-deploy. Yes. And we didn't use a support unit, because we have never used a support unit. So, considering that the computer crashed, like, after we had done the game, like, after we had finished the mission, but before we had finished the cutscene afterwards, that seems to have interrupted the whatever function in the game tells it that you have completed the mission properly, but not whatever function tells the game that you've completed the mission with 3 stars, which is interesting. Anyway, this doesn't necessarily have any bearing on anything, I just thought it was interesting and I wanted to share it. So yes, so we're now up to DT6, Seafood Platter. I think I might have said last time that we had cleared 3, or I don't know, I think I said that to someone. I might have said that to someone else as I was just sort of talking, but no, we cleared 2 missions last time, which is a lot better than the 1 we were completing, yes, per stream earlier. So yeah, so again, even if we complete just 1 per stream, we should have them all done by the end of the week. We could even spend multiple streams on one event, or one level. I don't intend to do that, and I will level up the Dungeon Meshi units fairly aggressively if I feel that it would be warranted. But that's it. That is a concern for later. Now, we start DT6, Seafood Platter. In their swift fall downwards, the hunters look just like shooting stars. A sight that those who live in the deep seas rarely have the opportunity to witness. With his desires and plans clouding his head, the bishop has, of course, never looked up at the night sky to enjoy that spectacle. But they are different. When the abyssal hunters had to fight for their lives and escape from the melancholy and sacrifice, they swam upwards. When they finally reached the surface, they could only solemnly gaze upon the star-filled night sky. The hunters have all etched the destinies of those short-lived stars into their hearts. Despite everything, the darkness can still be broken. Now, die. 3 shooting stars illuminate the deep passageway. The bishop is horrified, but because it has neither lungs nor vocal tracts, this thundering sound is as close as it gets to a scream for its current body. Amidst the debris and crumbling walls, the monster's bloated, dying form sprawls across most of the karst cave. Once emanating a strange, eerie beauty, its bizarre body now begins to stiffen in dread as it faces impending doom. The bishop is dead, and he will be forgotten completely. This is bad. There's not a single living thing outside this city. I don't think we're going to be able to restock our supplies here. Anyone find anything? Nothing on my end. The folks in the other parts of the city won't say a word either. They react when they see food, but won't answer any of my questions. Don't even bother asking them for supplies. I've been giving out bits of whatever rations I had on me. Things were mostly the same for me. The only word that comes to mind when I think when I look at these houses is miserable. Hard to imagine how the locals can even live here. I've searched a few markets. Seems like they're all a bit long abandoned. Safe to say, most people out here haven't had a good meal in a long while. Breaks my heart. Uh-oh. Yeah, I followed someone to the coast thinking I could find something there, but... He's just like the others, wandering aimlessly on the beach and sometimes digging through sand if there's food buried beneath. Hungry. Fins, shells, and eat. 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 Then she lays down his axe and nimbly makes his way in front of the pair, opening up the bundles they are carrying. Within are piles of fin beast and shells scavenged from the beast, and from the foul odor they emit, it's clear they've begun to rot. But the two don't seem to care at all. They begin to stuff the putrefying food into their mouths, overcome by some primal fear of Senshi stealing their meal. Oh, that's just sad. Since there's nothing here that's of help, we should get out of here quick. This place really has a strange atmosphere, doesn't it? And people aren't particularly friendly either. This is just my guess. The locals here haven't had a proper meal for too long. This led them to gradually growing numb to their surroundings. If we make them something good to eat, maybe they'll bring them back to their senses, even if just a little bit. Seriously? It's true. Normal that you don't know this, but starvation and stress will slowly make you lose yourself. Sounds like you're talking from experience. If possible, I was hoping we could at least fill their bellies with a proper meal. I don't mind the idea, but we need to find food for ourselves first. If not, we won't get very far, right, Chilchuck? Yeah, I suppose. Let's make one thing clear. The reason we lost our supplies in the first place is because you all went crazy and wandered off and saw me. Don't expect me to do everything this time, too. Well, naturally. Wandering travelers, do you seek sustenance? Wait, you can understand us? Yes. Great, Wait, Marcial, don't you find it strange that he can when everyone else can't? It is natural for you to be wary. But fear not, I have come to offer you guidance. Who are you? I am an itinerant priest, bringing the teachings of the sea to the masses. What of you? You do not seem like Iberians. What brings you to Salviento? We're looking to resupply for our journey. I presume you have not made much progress on that? No matter. Since we are here, we will not see you starve. We? Yes, we are the church taking care of the city. All under our eaves are brethren. Though you may be outsiders, if you are willing to follow our guidance, you too may join us. We would not allow our own to go hungry. Sounds pretty shady. We go with him to find food. Won't this mean that the townspeople can have a decent meal as well? Don't say that like you're actually thinking of joining his kooky cult. The ocean's blessing is boundless. It will not mind sharing a sliver with you. But it is only for the strong and worthy. What do you mean? I bet it means he knows where the food is, but not everyone can make it out alive. That is one way to interpret it. I wouldn't want to influence you into danger. It's just tell us where it is. We're experienced adventurers. We can handle a little danger. If you say so, follow the coastline south. There will be a cave. What you seek is within. Yes, quite sketchy indeed. Quite sketchy indeed. There's something fishy about that guy, Laios. I know. And why'd you listen to him? I have a hunch that whatever weird's going on in this town is connected to the church he was talking about. If we follow his guidance, it should lead us to something. Besides, if there's an ambush waiting for us, I'm sure you'll notice beforehand. Well, I guess you're right. That's... Kraken! It's huge! Laios, look out! Calm down. I don't think it's moving anytime soon. Huh? It's already dead? Wow. Kraken this huge. The church wasn't lying to us. Look at its tentacles, its suckers, its sea anemone-like organs. This must be its head? I'd love to see what it looked like alive. It should be about the size of a tower, and it would have looked impressive. Though it does taste rather nasty. This isn't a kraken, though maybe they share a common ancestor. My stomach's starting to hurt. Still, you shouldn't just eat things you know nothing about. I agree, we shouldn't. Eh? Sea creatures can contain toxins after their death. Take crabs, for example. They can be contaminated by harmful bacteria, even if they haven't been dead for long. If you really want to eat something, we can see if there are any parasites still alive in there. Gah, I shouldn't have gotten them started. I've learned to just say nothing in times like these. You wonder, though, who killed this giant creature? It must have been hard avoiding these tentacles. Laios, hush, I hear something. Marcel uses a stick to hoist a gooey, fluorescent thing. Ugh. I feel kind of sick just looking at it. It glows even during the day. Beautiful. Absolutely not. I'm gonna throw it away. What a waste. Say, what's that you threw it on? Worrying. What is that? Ah. Is something wrong? Laios, watch your step. Oh, seagrass? Careful, lad. I don't think it's a good idea to step on it. Now that you mention it, I do feel a bit numb all over. Avoid the seagrass as best you can, guys. You say that, but there aren't many other places we can stand. And it looks like all the plants in this cave were actually monsters, huh? There's no doubt about it. We're in the Kraken's lair. Which means all these things coming out from deeper in the cave must have lived alongside it. Which means... fresh ingredients! Marcial, can you use magic on the seagrass? Set it on fire or something? Huh? You crazy? If we make a fire, wouldn't that be like shouting, "Hey, over here," to all the monsters? Yeah, which is exactly why we're doing it. The seagrass is spreading out from the depths of the cave. If we chase them in, we'd be at a disadvantage. Better to use a fire and let them come to us. Sounds like you really thought this through. Don't worry, we're not going to take them head on. We can wait outside. Once we've gotten enough ingredients, we'll get out. And if something does happen, you can come to our rescue. Whatever. He must be going through a rebellious phase. On a separate note, haven't you considered the remote possibility that I might not play along? Huh? From his expression, Marcel can tell that he never even considered she wouldn't. Fine, cover your ears. Alright, begins. Presumably. Yes, okay. So. Quite ominous, this encounter, isn't it? Yes, from my position of little knowledge.
Are we gonna eat goodies when we get back?
Okay, pocket sea crawler. A sea terror imbued with impurities. Does not attack. Whenever a certain percentage of HP is lost, immediately deals a large amount of arch damage and nervous impairment to nearby units. Okay, so, it's a good thing that we still have Honeyberry around, I think. I think she can heal nervous impairment, but I'm not 100% certain. Anyway, so, the seagrass is not seagrass, but it is something that we're going to need to worry about. So, treasure chest. Well, I know someone who can deal with treasure chests. Okay. I was kind of thinking that they would be something that you would need to attack, but it would seem that perhaps not. Well, okay. Let's deploy cautiously. I don't know if we're going to get any enemies coming from the back. I would assume probably not. Hold on. Do we?
I'll find the right place for myself too.
Interesting. So yeah, so they do seem to be... Oh, okay, so do you need to deploy someone near them? Okay. Alright.
Arrived at designated position.
So yes. So, I think Laios is a pretty decent choice for right here. As for... okay, it does seem that the...
Everyone, hang in there.
Yeah, it seems like we are pretty well protected. There is a sort of spreading corruption over by the treasure chest. Ah. Cool, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, it does seem that that is being...
All of you.
Okay, so yeah. So I've confirmed... Oh dear. I've confirmed that we need more units on the field. Jessica? So yeah, so we are going to get exploded a little bit, which is maybe not the best thing in the world, but it should be surmountable. Okay, so it does seem that...
Breathing and relax.
Unless... Okay, we are letting enemies through, which is not great. We definitely should have cleared some space beforehand, but there's nothing we can really do about that now.
You'll pay for that.
Yes, so we need units nearby to the treasure chest in order to open them. But yes, okay, so Honeyberry is able to heal nervous impairment, like I was thinking. Yeah, and it looks like they don't need to be too close to the things. This should be something. Yes. Probably could have used it earlier, but oh well. I think we're basically just going to have to keep deploying more units.
Pay for that.
Alright, everyone's covered. So we should be in a decent way. Ah, we can open the treasure chest now. Ah. So that one causes nervous impairment.
I'll show them what I can do.
So Chilchuck's in a bit of a way, but not a huge concern. Alright, so, as we saw last time, basically it's going to take some time for Marcial to do her chanting, whereupon she will then have her familiar. So, skill can be activated again to upgrade the familiar. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if how to get the skill to activate again, basically, before. Yes. Ooh, okay. That's quite something. Alright, so the nervous impairment is killing us pretty hard right now, which is less than ideal. But... Alright, so we have lost this one, I think.
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll
Yeah,
face
not,
it together,
no two ways
all of
about it,
you.
I don't think. Yeah. Okay, but we've got a better idea of how to do this next time, so... Yeah, more or less we just need to start taking these things out sooner. Yes. If they're all together and taking damage, then that's going to be a big problem for us. Honestly, if we just had more single target damage, that probably would have been fine. Yeah, if we had done single target damage more, perhaps. Anyway, so. who do we want to deploy in the back there? I think possibly a good choice could be Gravel. I don't know that Rat Swarm will actually be that useful to us. But I don't think she's going to take that much damage necessarily.
You want to go together?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to take that much damage outright, I should say. So yes, one way or the other though, she will take damage. We can say this much with confidence.
We should be departing any moment now.
So, who do we want first? Honestly, we might want Jessica first.
All right.
So we are going to need to block. We are going to need to block
I'll
soonish.
show them what I can do.
And we are going to want to be able to heal.
Everyone, focus on fighting. Just leave treatment to me. Why can't everyone try
Yeah,
to
so
get
Jessica's
along?
fine. Then I think we can deploy...
I'll show them what I can do.
I don't know if Senshi is necessarily a better choice than Laios in this case. Probably he's a little bit of a worse choice, actually, because we're not facing that many enemies. Anyway, one way or the other, though, Gravel
Think you'll get away?
should be able to endure this. And we should be cooking soon. There we go. Yeah, so that treasure chest down below is not anything that we want any part of. Anyway, we can deploy Laios now, so we might as well. Yes, so Gravel is taking some damage, but she should survive long enough for the treasure chest to be
Everyone,
unlocked.
hang in there.
So yeah, so actually, yeah, her barrier is, yeah, she's lost about half her health, and she had the barrier up for a good amount of that time.
Any orders for me?
So if we didn't have her here, then we probably would have been in some trouble. Anyway, we have quite a bit of coverage, so I think it's safe to deploy Frostleaf.
You'll pay for that.
Yes. We might want to deploy a medic, Colossus, our only other medic, roughly there or so. Maybe not necessarily immediately, but,
Not one step backward.
well, why not immediately, I guess, is the question. Yeah, so we know that we don't want to open that chest at the middle there. I don't know if we... Whether or not we want Marseille here is another question. We've got quite a bit of blocking, so that might not be a huge concern. So yes. We'll use her skill again, because we're not too dependent on activating her abilities. Yes, we are getting hit by some nervous impairment, which is less than ideal. But it's not the worst thing in the world.
My bodily fluids aren't the only thing that's chilling.
Alright, so all of our range types have died, which is a little bit unfortunate. But not insurmountable.
See you later! Life, brittle as frost, fragile like leaves.
Yeah, so things did get away from us a little bit there.
I once sleep
Which is why we
on the
probably
dog.
shouldn't necessarily put Cruz in this specific position. But
Let's chill down some.
I do want some of these fellows dealt with before they cause a huge problem for everyone. Itadakimasu. How are we doing?
Get a hold
We're
of
doing
your
very good.
breathing and relax.
Yes. Gravel is going to do just fine in her position.
Awesome.
Alright. So these are going to cause a little bit of a problem for us. But since we're spread out, they're probably not going to be a huge problem. Replace travel, please. Thank you. Yes. No more that Utage can do. Alright, we've lost our
No matter
front
what
line
trouble
to
we're
a
in,
certain extent.
I'll face it together with all of you.
Okay, so I think we should be in the clear. Yes, Chilchuck might still die, but we can replace him fairly
No
easily.
matter what trouble we're in,
Okay, clean
I'll
victory.
face it together with all of you.
Yeah, again, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I've really enjoyed this event's focus on sort of resource management and problem solving. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, very interesting. All right, so that's it. Yes, now that I've sort of gotten a grasp of what I'm sort of what is sort of expected, I feel like we're doing a lot better. Oh, that noise. I presumed they would have exercised more caution. Who would have thought they had such confidence? No matter, the outcome will be the same. Church has need of men. Become one of us. Then we shall bring revelation to all Iberians. That should be the trap set. Just need to wait for them to get enough ingredients and get out of there. Should be enough to buy them some time. Man, Lio, sometimes you really do think of everything. The treasure chest doing here? Let me guess, this world has mimics too. This one's barely even trying. The beach, there's nothing here but sand. Why does it think it's who does it think it's trying to fool? Fool, obviously. Huh? Footsteps? That it's that weird guy. They will become our brethren. Soon. Soon they will become something greater. Him all right. I knew he was sending us to our deaths. I've got an idea. When the Inquisition comes, they too may have a taste. Taste of what? Why? Why haven't you gone inside? I'm not much of a fighter myself, so I'm waiting outside. Is that so? You mentioned the Inquisition. Who are they? Our common enemy. Oh, mind telling me more? Seems the Stern has no talent for combat. I suppose there's no harm in chatting with him. With his build, where could he even run off to? I do not mind. You might be seen talking here. How about we go chat by that chest? Very well. Chest? Let us begin with how the Inquisition have been fooling the people of Iberia. Lamps open, devours whole. Lamps shut, plays contently. You might call them your brethren, but you don't know how the first thing about these monsters. When you're in a party like ours, that'll cost you dearly. That's all of them handled. Thought there'd be a lot more. If they were living alongside the Kraken, most probably fled when it died. The ones who killed it in the first place must have exquisite taste. Think these monsters are edible, Senshi? Well, I'm certainly not eating any. They're disgusting! I think as long as we handle them carefully, we can turn them into healthy, delicious meals. We're not that far from the city, though, or particularly hidden. There's no reason that locals wouldn't know of this place. they won't eat any of this stuff, surely that means none of it's edible. The mysterious priest must have sent us here to die. Not necessarily. These are monsters, after all. We didn't see any weapons in town, so maybe they can't hunt here. Not that they won't. Seafood's a good source of protein. If we can make a proper meal out of them, I'm sure it'll be filling. No, 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 no! There's nothing wrong with it, the way I see it. I might not have cooked a kraken before, but I know how to handle fish, shellfish, prawns, and octopus. Just a reminder that we don't have anything else to eat anyway, other than whatever washes up on the beach. I know, okay? This one's got a transparent head full of some sort of sticky liquid. It surrounds the organs in this thing that looks like an egg yolk. Definitely can't eat the organs. Let's have a look at that egg yolk stuff in the liquid. Really reminds me of an egg. I'll try beating it in a bowl later. Looks like the inside of an egg to me, too. You two do realize we're in the middle of taking care of the monsters, right? Can you save the cooking talk for later? Don't say that. This is the best way to research monsters in general. Have you noticed how you've already helped us cook these sea anemone monsters, Marcial? Oh, you're right. I think it's a bit burnt after getting hit by explosion magic. Then there's the strange seagrass. It just withered up from the fire. Probably inedible, right? How about you hold off on trying it? I think you get the heat just right. Doesn't seem like there's any more coming out from deeper in. Guessing they're afraid of us. I think we've gathered enough monster parts for a feast. Let's go. Huh. Chilchuck, why is there a treasure chest next to you? And that man out cold over there, is that the priest? Yep, thought he could talk us into walking to our death, so I decided I'd use this chest to teach him a lesson. Wait, he was lying to us? We really did manage to get lots of seafood there, though. And did you just say this guy? Yeah. I figured this world was going to have mimics, too. Chest? Slams open, slapped by Chilchuck, unable to reach anything, shakes angrily. Seems like you've got it under control. Well, it's pretty terrible at hiding itself. Anyway, I assume you're going to want to see what this world's mimics taste like, so here, take it. Wow, really? You're the best. Does Count as playing nice with him? Probably. You're a good egg, lad. Shut up. Come on, let's go start a fire on the beach. Let's start by opening up this one that looks like a sea anemone. I was thinking earlier, it should be here. Yep, there it is. Its head is on the bottom. Huh? That flower organ on the top isn't its head? Let's cut it open and get a better look. The head's structured a lot like a starfish. Peel back its skin a little. Oh, it really has eggs inside. They're on every petal, see? I think that it's their breeding season now. Now I really don't feel like eating it. I know, I'm not going to eat another sea creature raw. Like I said, you need to handle that stuff carefully or you're definitely getting a stomachache. But, properly made, normal ceviche and sashimi are delicious. Remember that for next time. Then, how do you properly prepare normal raw food? Ah, told you not to say anything. Well, go on. Add mustard, lemon slices, onion, coriander, and minced garlic to soy sauce. If you have fish sauce, add a dash if you like, then in goes the raw seafood, mix well and leave to marinate. Something along those lines. Sounds great. But we don't have any soy sauce or mustard. We do have this. Notice half a box of emergency sanity potions tucked away in a corner of the cave. It says here, contains mustard extract. Might be some kind of sort of seasoning. Manufactured by Rhodes Island. Product of the place we're looking for. If this is here, we might be closer than we thought. Might as well use it to give the meat some flavor. Just need to cut these up into the right size, put them in a container, add in some emergency sanity potion, onion and minced garlic, then finally add the raw meat and mix it all together. Here, try some. Delicious. As for everything else, let me see. Big pile of roast seagrass, about a dozen of those egg monsters, another dozen of the sea anemone ones, and one mimic. Yep, this should be plenty. Nutritious seaborn full course. Worrying, but it is what is on our plate. So, there you have it. Looks like a lot, but there's still plenty left over. Should be enough to feed the city folk. It all smells amazing. Though the ingredients are a bit unusual, it actually looks pretty good once it's all cooked. Do you really plan to share all this with the people in town? Seems to me like you guys are itching to dig in. They don't even understand us when we speak. I've got a plan. We start eating here by the coast, which will attract those wandering to the beach. It's clear they still possess some sort of reason. We let them eat their fill, then they can share the rest with their friends. So, just an excuse after all. The locals might not be too familiar with this style of cooking. I do think we should demonstrate that it's edible first. You heard him. Eat up, everyone. I want more seaweed alcohol. Gosh, you really do love your drinks. Because it's delicious. Well, I'm glad you like it. I hope the singer will like it too the next time she stops by. What's wrong? The outsiders are at the beach. Huh? The beach? What are they doing there? Cooking. Cooking? With monsters from the sea. What? I need to go stop them, quick! Too late. This ceviche is really sharp. Texture's good though. Haven't had anything like it before. This world's mimics turned out to be pretty tasty too. In me many. Oh, what's that smell? It's good. Oh, that lying priest's woken up. Oh, very good. Wait, what are you doing? You! What is it that you're cooking? Oh, hey there, Mr. Priest. That cave you told us about really was full of seafood. The townspeople don't need to go hungry any longer. Want to try some? You... This is blasphemy! Blasphemy of the highest order! My brethren, I will not allow... Oh dear, looks like he passed out again. Maybe he's hungry? I got it. We can gather up some of that strange seagrass and use the tingle to wake him up. I already told you, he tried to get us killed. Why do you care about him so much? No matter how you cut it, Chilchuck, we're only having this feast thanks to him. We ought to show our gratitude somehow. I really don't get you. Alright, come help me gather some seagrass while the bonfire's still lit. Hey, and you're just doing this because you're still hungry. The water's so cold. Anita finally reaches the shore, but it seems she is too late. Upon a beach fallen into silence, people have gathered for the first time in a long while. A group of 4 have rolled up their trousers and waded into the sea in high spirits, breaking out into laughter on occasion. Wow, there's creatures here nibbling at my toes. Huh? Then doesn't mean the stuff we just ate was... That's just how things are in most places, Marcial. I think I hear people yelling behind us. Really? Oh wow, there's some glowing round thing over there. I'm gonna go have a look. They... Oh! All Anita can think of while looking at the scene before her is that it seems the sea breeze glowing towards Salviento today is stinging her eyes. All this is something she never imagined she'd see her entire life.
Senshi, あの魔物を食べられるかな?
Alright, well, one way or the other, everything worked out pretty decently well. Alright. EP7. Those drones look familiar. So, I forgot to read the description of this level, by the way. Be extra careful and be extremely... Oh no, I read that last time. Right. Okay, anyway, so, EP7, Healthy Snacks. This product is guaranteed to be 100% inorganic with absolutely no natural ingredients. Alright. So, no reason to change before we know what we're going to be encountering. Troubling. What's going on? Why are we being chased by all these magic items? Who sent them after us? My sword can't reach them. They're not like the other monsters we've fought before. Oop. Yeah, this odd delay is really being an issue now. Marcial, use your magic already. I got caught in the blast. They could use both explosion and freezing magic and target them with precision. These things sure are something. They're too quick. I can't aim like this. What do we do then? We run. I'll use my magic to counter theirs. Try to get out of their range. Very familiar indeed. Looks like there's a village that way. These things flew in from over there, though, so I don't think we're going to see any friendly faces. Marcial, look out! Figured out their flight patterns. Leave us alone already! Bombs are sent flying by Marcial's magic, getting right back to the drones that fired them. But I wouldn't have given to have that skill. Placed by their own petard, they rattle and shake as they fall to the ground. With a massive boom, the buildings are set ablaze, and the ringing of the blast is closely followed by the shouting of the villagers. After the explosion comes the falling magic items, which rain into a few unlucky souls. Marcial can't help but tighten her grip on her staff. I think we made them really mad, Laios. Senshi, Marcial, sometimes we just have to grit our teeth and get fighting. Shame. Still haven't found out anything about Rhodes Island. My golly, the catastrophe didn't none of our cornfields. Didn't get licked by the sandstorm, neither. I've been worried sick for days over this. If the fields are gone, we'd have nothing to eat or sell past summertime. How about us go start up the drones then, boss? Other places mightn't have been as lucky. If they see we're spick and span, we're gonna have a problem with thieves and looters. Well, go on then. Just remember to switch them from patrol mode to attack mode. Oh, right, remember to let that Rhodes Island fella in. He's meant to be stopping by just after the catastrophe. You got it, boss. That ain't right. Why is the drone relay all... The drones ain't responding. Signals. Boss! Boss! The catastrophe hit the drone relay. The drones, they're out of control. Alright, don't lose your cool. Turn that relay off first. I can't. It ain't shutting down. Ah, stang diddly darn it. Figure it out yourself. I'm not paying you to sit around and do nothing. The originium circuits. The mainline board. Hey, what's going on here? Not gonna welcome me in? No, you're a sight for sore eyes. I remember you. You're Ryan, the guy with the little hammer. Come help us out. The drones are out of control. That's so. Alright, hang back a bit. I'll go take a look for you. Who was that? Is someone really here to take our crops? Screw them. Hey, this is Ryan with a new entry for the mission log. First, bringing back Kayabe. This mission's proving a bit harder than anticipated. Our intel says this is the last place the kid showed up, but actually finding her is not so simple. Then I've got to pay a visit to the cornhole, see how they're doing after the catastrophe. Hope everything's alright there. What was that? Is there a dust-up going on in the frontier? Ah, the originating circuits, the mainline board. Anyone from outside the village? Seems like they've got some kind of internal issues. Guess I better find out what's going on. These guys aren't the friendliest bunch. We're getting close to contacting Rhodes Island. Hey, what's going on here? Not gonna welcome me in? No, you're a sight for sore eyes. I remember you. You're Ryan, the guy with the little hammer. Come help us out. The drones are out of control. Ew, okay, just some out-of-control drones. If there really was fighting out here, I'd be done for. That's so. Alright, hang back a bit. I'll go take a look for you. There really are other pioneers here to pick a fight. What? Who is that? Is someone really here to take our crops? Screw them. This can't be good. If I get Rhodes Island involved in a frontier tussle, we'll be in trouble. Well, let's get these guys to safety first, and hopefully that'll calm things down. Hey, don't be rash, buddy. You don't know how many people are out there. You better best hunker down for now. Frick that. I saw 4 of them earlier. Go for the 2 shorties first. Let's get them. Hey, wait. Only 4 of them. What kind of gang is this? Two groups. Be careful. They got weapons and more of those magic items Arceal can't do anything about. Just stay calm. Calm? I am done being calm. My hair's all messed up thanks to that explosion. Ruined my braid. I really liked it, you know? Fair enough. Fair enough. You SOBs think you can mess with me? You sick freaks think you can just bomb my barn? No, stop. Let's talk it out like civilized folk. The drones are still flying around like crazy. Do you really want to pick a fight now? Shove it. You think I'm scared of my own drones? What good is talking going to do when it's them who attacked us out of nowhere? Shut it, lady. You're the ones who blew up my barn. You guys got a death wish. They're attacking. Take cover. Well, yeah, they're the ones controlling the magic items. Ouch! None of these pains in the butt are listening to me. Ow! Look, fighting out in the wild's just going to draw who knows what. Let's all calm down and talk things out, okay? As though in response to his earnest plea, all of a sudden the ground begins to rumble. Could it be another catastrophe? The thought flits through the minds of some, but is immediately dispelled by what comes next. A tidal wave of bloom pincers seems to have had enough of the drones, dropping bombs in the skies above their heads. They raise their pincers in formation and march towards the gaggle of people. Swarm of monsters? Run. We can't handle that many with just the 4 of us. But there's nowhere to run. We're surrounded. Let's just back off for now. Ugh. Watch where you're going. Who is that? I'll hammer you into... It's you, punks. We can't run, boss. The gloom pincers got us hemmed in. Everyone, please listen to me. We'll deal with them together, all right? Don't forget the drones. All right. The battle begins.
Great. I feel like some exercise.
Berry Metal Crab. When HP is under 50%, will eat the shiny berry it carries to recover HP. Interesting. I didn't see what path the enemies are going to take, which could be a little bit of an issue here. Not that we need to be that concerned, per se. Especially because I think this is one of the slugs that just runs away. Bomb tail.
I'm listening. Take aim.
We definitely need to do something about those bomb tails.
Alright. Freeze!
Very worried about the bomb tail. But there's not that we can do but cook at this point, so cook we shall. Our units are going to get stunned here, which is a little bit less than good, but, you know, whatever. Okay. So. It's times like these that I'm glad that we have a long-range medic.
Treatment target not one step backward.
Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, alright. So maybe this will... Okay, so not everyone got stunned, that's good.
Together with all of you.
Okay. And these bomb tails aren't as bad as the other ones that we fought in the past. So we don't necessarily need to worry about them too badly.
I've got a way to treat you here.
Ideally, if we could place someone farther forward, that would be good, but I don't know who we would want to place.
I'll show them what I can do.
I suppose Frostleaf has... Yeah, she can survive this. And our range units are able to pick off the bomb tails that remain. If we really need to, we could deploy gravel.
All of you.
I think it's worth deploying Lyos. Actually, these fellows, yeah. As to be expected, the metal crabs aren't particularly vulnerable. Anything we can do. This is not a good place for Marcial because she is going to get bombed, which is less than ideal. I would not like that. But there's nothing I can really do about it right now, so. Alright, so we need more healing. Alright. So yeah, so we are going to lose, so we might as well just back out. That's another thing I should probably get a little bit better at, just knowing when to call it quits.
Don't get discouraged. We still have a chance.
Yes, I do. I think we've got a pretty good... Yeah, this should be very easily doable, I think. Because these definitely are not the toughest of bomb tails that we have faced. Okay. So yeah, so I think more or less if we just place a unit sort of facing further forward, that should solve a lot of our problems. But yes, the metal crabs will want to deal with some arts damage, I think.
It's time.
There's no pits to throw them into.
Departing any moment now.
Yes. So it's interesting that the area that Chilchuck can target is being shown like that. I wonder, could we...
Everyone,
okay.
focus on fighting.
Okay,
Just
so
leave treatment to me.
I think we could do something like this.
Get a hold of your breathing.
Yes, I don't know that she'll necessarily be able to take out the bomb tail that quickly.
This should work.
Alright, that's not going to work.
Pay for that.
But at least the worst thing that's going to happen here is just that we're going to have some of our units get stunned while the enemies that are passing by are not ones that we could, that are going to be a problem for us anyway. So yeah, Marcial will be, maybe not necessarily good, but she'll be a choice. This is something that we want gravel for. So yes, now Marcial.
Life, brittle as frost, fragile as leaves.
Very good. Alright, so gravel did get a little bit exploded there, but that's to be expected.
Jump down? I've got a real penchant for that.
下がって私がやる
Yes, we want more skill uses out of Shellchuck. We want a unit that's a little bit further forward who can deal with some of
悪く
this.
ない配置だ。後ほどここで食事を作ろう。
Yeah, more specifically, we mostly just want
さて、何を作る
we mostly want Jessica to not explode is our main priority. At least it's my main priority.
Won't sleep on the job.
Yes, I think.
Here I am.
Alright, she did get a little bit exploded there. But she is alive.
助は練習
So,
内で
it could have been a lot worse.
Get a hold of
Okay,
her,
Marcial is not positioned ideally. We also haven't been collecting any ingredients really, so everyone's slowly going to starve to death, which is not great.
魔力切れを起こすと危ないから戦略は慎重に考え
Alright,
て
so her range is higher, but it's not high enough, is the problem. Okay, we do have some ingredients now.
さて、何を
Because
作
yeah,
る
the issue here is that Marcial doesn't have the range necessary to actually deal arch damage to any of the things that we want arch damage dealt to. Jessica has exploded.
Let's chill down some hotheads.
Target marked.
I don't think that... Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
撤退ルートを事前に確認しといてよかったな。こっちだ。ついてこい。
So yes. So the wide range medic I think is going to be good because that's going to extend our effective area that we can deploy in. That being said, we could use Senshi for essentially the same purpose. But yes, beyond that, you want the bomb tails to expend their bombs soon. So that means that we need to deploy someone fairly aggressively. But if we deploy too aggressively, they're going to get stunned. But, on the other hand, that kind of doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that much. Yes. So, we need coverage on the drones area. But as long as they've deployed their payload, they shouldn't be a huge deal. We can always swap in... Yeah, we could always swap in, you know, someone. What's her name? Glaucus, there we go. We can always swap in Glaucus because this is what she lives and breathes. She'll also be able to do some arch damage, which would be good for the metal crabs. I assume that the metal crabs are probably have low resistance, yeah? No. No, actually. So how are we going to want to deal with these metal crabs then? Well, I don't know. We might just need to brute force it a little bit. I definitely think we want to change up our lineup a little bit, because Chilchuck is not...
出発だよ.
Actually, if we deploy...
I'm listening.
Okay, I was thinking if we deployed on that, we might be able to get some berries from it, or to get ingredients from it, but no. Anyway.
Take
aim.
But yes, Cruz is able to gather us ingredients, though, at this rate, so that's good. Jessica should be sufficient to take out the bomb tails, at least early on. You definitely would want Chilchuck switch over to his second skill.
Okay.
Yes, this should be okay for Crossleaf.
My bodily fluids aren't the only thing that's chilling.
Yes, one way or the other, though, we are getting ingredients. Not a lot of them necessarily, but we are getting them. That slug escaped. We need to deploy medic sooner rather than later. So we are not filling up the cooking pot as quickly as we need it filled. Yeah, definitely we want Chilchuck switched over to his second skill. Because yeah, we do not have, oh dear. Alright, we're almost ready to cook. We're almost ready to cook. But how do we... Oh, actually, no, this should be okay. Because Honeyberry can heal her from there.
Extend my edge.
Marcial can be deployed like so. She will get exploded a little bit. Which wouldn't be ideal. But also isn't the worst thing in the world.
Only thing that's chilling.
Unfortunate.
魔法陣を準備しといた方がいいかな。
Yes, so Gravel is stunned.
魔力切れを起こすと危ないから、
Would
戦略は慎重に考
Aobe
え
be
て。
a good choice, actually? Well, it doesn't really matter because we are going to lose our...
Piece it together with all of you.
Yeah, Marcial's gone. Let's get stunned. Right.
Arch unit charging.
Yeah, we need to start cooking immediately.
Fragile like leaves.
But we don't seem to have that
まずは
like down to an
魔物の
arc
軍じゃ
yet.
ないかを確かめよう。
Here I am.
Okay. Yes, Gravel can't endure a lot of these explosions.
ままわしに
A
任せて
non-zero number, but not a lot. And yeah, 2 is too many for anyone.
いただきます。
Okay. Yes, the crabs are just too much for us. Yeah, they're really something.
Sorry. I'll fight harder next time.
How do we deal with them? Because yeah, there aren't any pits. Unless... Stats could be an issue. That could be part of it. Let's see. At least we have met
Feel
our
like some exercise.
quota. Okay, no pits. No pits that can sense. Oh. Maybe I'm thinking about this the wrong way, because they do spawn over on this side. So it could... I forgot to switch Shield Check over to his other skill. Anyway. Let's not do this. Anyway. Yeah, so... Uh-oh. We got a bot. Bum. Anyway. So. Chill Chuck over to your second skill. Marcial was doing fine with Summon Familiar. In fact, I think it's probably ideal to have Summon Familiar because we want the range. Senshi is doing fine. I think we want consistent healing. Everyone else is doing okay. I don't know that Gravel's necessarily the pick for what we have her deployed for. Her main asset is that she's not very expensive, but if we're going to be deploying, or if we're going to be generating more DP, then that shouldn't be a huge issue. I'm tempted to go for Cement. But I'm not too sold on that. But yes, Aobe is probably a pretty good choice because these things apparently have very high defense indeed. So being able to deal extra damage to them based on that is probably pretty good. Other than that, I don't know that Jessica is the play either. We want these drones taken out, but if we place Jessica... If we don't place our other units in a very, very carefully, then she just dies. So... Let's see. So, without any buffs on, Gravel has 216 defense, which is not great. Her HP is also not spectacular. better than Jessica's on both fronts, but not enough to endure many bombs. So, another thought. Cement. Much higher defense. Much higher defense. Much higher HP. Spot also has higher HP. Secondary healing mode, though, the issue with that is that he won't heal himself, I don't think. Gummy is also a choice. She can heal herself, thus taking the pressure off of our other units in a lot of ways. Plus, though she has less survivability in general than Cement, she does have a lot less, she costs a lot less. And for not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. You know, it's notable, but it's not terrible. Croissant could also be good, because there's basically never going to be a situation where we don't want auto defense active if we can. And this would possibly save us in a lot of cases. So honestly, Croissant could be the play.
Leave the defense to me.
Plus she has the accent to match. So yeah, this could be good. We want Marcial out sooner, but now that we have Chilchuck, that shouldn't be a huge issue. Yes, Cruz is definitely
Direct
our
memory access for
first
application
choice.
map. And enemy coordinates authorized. Please stand by. Here I am.
Yes, the skill points on Cruz aren't really benefiting us in any material way. I don't know. Do we want to place Chilchuck somewhere else? I've been placing him there just because it seemed like a good place to put a Vanguard, but do we really need to put him there? So yes, one way or the other, though. We want this thing gone. Okay.
Here I am.
So then we're going to have these slugs.
This should work.
This should work. So, the problem if we place Croissant
Not one step
here
backward.
is that she'll get stunned often by these slugs, which will not be great. But, on the other hand, if she's getting stunned, then, you know, at least the rest of them, you know, it doesn't really matter that much, honestly. Just as long as nobody dies, basically.
Arrived at designated
Yes,
position.
people's
Treatment
death
target
is our
set.
primary concern, and as long as death does not occur, we're okay. If Croissant can make people not die, less than ideal.
There you are.
Yes, if Croissant can make people not die, then she's done her job, basically. Laios.
まずは肉食
My bodily fluids aren't the only thing that's chilling.
You think get through me?
Chilchuck's doing okay. Yeah, we need to get these slugs dealt with, because that's a huge part of the issue. Is that they are simply... Ugh. Yeah, a big part of the issue is just that these slugs, or crabs, the metal crabs just are too much. They're just too much for us.
Extend my edge.
Abe's extra damage is a significant factor,
大した打撃は与えられねえからな
but it's not sufficient.
No. You'll pay for that.
Will? No, because Jessica isn't targeting the crab.
いつになったら終わるんだよ
Extend my edge.
Okay.
もうドクター、ぼーっとしてないで走るよ
So, actually, hold on. I know what we need to do now. At least I've got a better idea. So, here's the plan. We're going to deploy Frostleaf more or less where we have been placing her. But we're also going to deploy Chilchuck. Chilchuck doesn't have enough killing power on his own to take out these slugs, but neither does Frostleaf. Together, they should be able to handle it though. Chilchuck might not survive once the bombs start getting dropped, but that really won't be a huge concern. It won't be the biggest concern anyway.
There you are.
So, otherwise, placing Jessica like so will allow her to take out some bomb tails early and take some pressure off of us. We don't want to wait too long to deploy our medics though. Okay, Frostleaf, as soon as you like. There we are.
This should work.
This should work. So yes, if we can get the berries out, we can do a lot more damage, and we can get a lot more... There we go. Alright, not quite enough to start cooking immediately, but we can always heal.
Everyone, focus on fighting. Just leave treatment to me. Here I am.
Okay, here we go. Yes. Now, we are, in fact, cooking with gas. Okay. So, I think now we're going to want to deploy Croissant.
Let's chill down with some hotheads.
So, I think we're also going to want to deploy some... I don't know exactly what we're going to want to deploy, but we're going to want to deploy some of it. Someone who can do some...
One step backward.
Chilchuck is maybe not the best choice here. Chilchuck we're probably going to want to swap out, actually.
悪くない配置だ。
I've got a way to treat you here.
So. We want to keep the cook pot going. We need Marcille to start using her skill. Ah, okay. So, it was Bruce who was responsible. Honestly, you might want to just replace Bruce then, because we don't want her stunning anyone in that place in that way. Jessica... We might have wanted to replace Jessica earlier then. How do we want to do the rest of this though then? Alright, we need to keep the cooking going. We need to deploy some... Oh no, okay, we're fine. Yes, you can start using your magic once again. Or not. Alright, so.
まずは肉食の魔物の糞がないか確かめよう。
Archimate charging.
So this is, yeah, not going to be fast enough to take for Laios to survive.
Time to quit breathing and relax.
Chilchuck might be able to survive this, but no one else is going to. Or no, we're not going to survive because, okay. Yeah, our front line is finally crumpled. We've got too many berry slugs.
Sorry. I'll fight
Okay,
harder
new
next
thoughts.
time.
So, AoE damage. Slugs. Okay. So, Roll of Frostleaf, taken over by Fire Whistle.
Fire whistle at your service.
Jessica, Bruce, good for early in the mission. I don't know how long we want to keep them. Do we? Glaucus. I think we want Glaucus. Very much want Glaucus. Do we want binary reload? Or do we want counter EMP? I don't know if we're going to get... No, we are probably going to get a lot of drones in an area at
Everyone,
once.
remember your grounding measures.
Senshi. We might need to upgrade our units a little bit more. I don't know that Kebe is the choice here either. Utage is not really doing us much good. I'm a little bit tempted to use Iana just as a decoy for the bomb tails. That might actually be a good play. Manticore could be another decent choice to get the... Well, no, we wouldn't be able to deploy her in a great way to get the berry slugs to activate sooner. But I think Utage is definitely not a good choice for what we have in mind. I'll say Maru is an idea, a possibility. I don't know that we're really going to get much value out of Kazemaru in any capacity here. Yeah, my only thought is that being a Doll Keeper, she might be able to recover in time, but I don't think she really would, even with... Yeah, I think Gravel would probably be a better play. Oh, hold on. We're back. Anyway. So yeah, so Gravel, I think, is valuable just on the grounds of being a fast redeploy unit. So yeah, just a way to get bomb tails to not hit our more strategically valuable units in a pinch.
You want to go together?
So yeah. I still don't know that Keibe is a good choice for anything that we're doing here, but she's not a terrible choice, I don't think. Not 100% sure how I want to use Marcial, though.
I won't sleep on the job. Take aim.
So, we need Fire Whistle out soon. That means we need some good rolls on Shellshock.
There you are.
Shellshock can probably survive at least one explosion.
Treatment target sighted. Take aim.
Whether or not we want him to is another question, but he probably can. We don't necessarily need to cook immediately. We want to cook as soon as we can.
Breathing and relax.
I don't know that this is where we want to place Fire Whistle, actually. We've already placed her there, so we can't really change it, but... So, Shellshock is going to get exploded, but he's going to survive, so
No
it could be
matter what
worse.
trouble we're in, I'll face it together with all of you.
Now,
Here we are.
we can deploy... Yeah, we can deploy someone. You know, someone. Okay, here we go.
There you are.
Rasan, there we go, that's her name. Okay, yes. Now we're not taking damage over time anymore. Whoops.
Take it slow.
We're not taking damage over time anymore, and we are instead healing over time, and we've got more power, so that's good.
You ain't get through me.
So yes, so with Fire Whistle, no matter what, we're still going to be detonating the slugs. So that being said, they aren't dying at a time or in a way that is convenient for us.
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together with all of you.
Cruz is doing some work. She is taking out the bomb tails. So I can't fault her. I don't know that this is necessarily what we want to do, but I think it's worth trying. Yeah, deploying her earlier would have been better, of course, but, you know. We've only got so much that we can do. Alright, so now she can start exploding things, and we're going to make her explode things more. Would that actually benefit us? Probably not. It does increase our attack speed, which is not bad.
Get a hold of your breathing.
We want the cook pot to keep going. Okay, Chilchuck is down, but he's not that important to us strategically. We've got a lot of defenders up here, so we are probably doing okay. We want the cooking to continue. But...
まずは肉食の魔物の糞がないか確かめよう。
No matter what trouble we're in, I'll face it together with all
Okay,
of
so
you.
now...
Sure.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh. Unfortunate.
Feeling of standing on dry land.
Drone. Need to be killed. Okay.
Everyone, hang in there.
Okay, yeah. Now the issue is just that we're not killing the drones in time. I think Croissant did go down there.
Sorry. Did I mess up again?
You did fine. I probably could have and should have deployed, well, actually, would that have helped? I almost wonder if the... if the berry metal crabs... I feel like there's something with them that I'm not getting. I feel like there's a mechanic that I don't understand. I don't think that there is. There's nothing that they've done that implies that there really is. But the trouble that we're having makes it feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, like maybe that they have less defense or something like that after they've eaten their berry, maybe. But that doesn't seem... yeah, it doesn't seem right. So, at the end there, the main issue was just that we were running into too many drones. We weren't taking out the drones fast enough. We've already determined that if we place someone pretty forward, like roughly here, as long as we have our defenders up here deployed in the right order, we're not necessarily going to be in too big of a problem.
Direct memory access for application map. And enemy coordinates authorized. Please stand by.
Yeah.
Here I am.
So, Chilchuck.
敵多すぎだろ。鍵でも開けてほしいの
So I'm
か。
not sure why Chilchuck... No. Oh, wait. Is that...
罠はない。
Chilchuck? Okay, yes. Allied units in his range. Okay, okay. Alright. Not relevant to us, but
There you are.
it is a statement of fact. Yes. So, if we deploy Fire Whistle early,
Artilleryman, take aim.
we might be able to get some more value. Cool. Okay. Yes, if we can start cooking very soon, then we can probably reduce a lot of the pain that we're experiencing.
Here we
Not
are.
necessarily completely, but Chilchuck is going to die here, which is unfortunate, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We could have probably deployed Honeyberry and avoided that fate, but I'm not too worried about it.
There you are.
But what I am worried about is the fact that we have messed up our deployment order, because now
That ain't gonna work on me.
I don't think that we can deploy Glaucus in such a way that she can target the drones, but won't also be targeted by the drones. Never mind. Maybe? Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure yet still. Yes, Marcial,
Let's burn him up.
familiar. So she has more attack. Use this again will give her more attack speed. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad, actually. Because now we don't have anyone.
魔力切れを起こすと危ないから、戦略は慎重に考えて。
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely made a big mistake here. Granted, the mistake wasn't huge or anything. We just didn't
後ほど
deploy
ここで食事を作ろう。
just didn't deploy Senshi when we probably should have, but
That ain't gonna work on me. There you are.
so yeah, so that's going to really make cooking a lot harder for us here. And we might start starving. And if we start starving, then that means that the
Right
block
designated position.
is not going to enjoy anything that's happening. Because yeah, we definitely can't place.
There you are.
Yeah, okay. Some of the drones Blockus can deal with from where she was, but not all of them. And definitely can't deal with all
Get a
this.
hold of your breathing. Relax.
Gravel. I don't know that you can do anything about this, but you can at least not die from a single bomb, so that's something. Lyos.
この辺りの地形は
Hmm.
迷宮内とまるで違うな。
Oh, okay.
Here I am.
Okay, okay. So we need these crabs dead. Like very dead. Okay.
Sorry. Did I?
Okay, I think I found the missing piece then.
Again?
The question is, how do we deal with these? How do we deal with them? Crabs. So they've just got an amazing, immense defense. And we've only managed throughout every attempt of this mission to kill one of them. So I might need to go back to the drawing board and learn a little bit about how to potentially deal with some of these things. Okay, because we need the crabs dead. If we can add the cooked berries to the... That wasn't the name of them, but if we can add the berries that they drop to the cook pot, that will massively increase our operator survivability, which should allow us to endure the rest of what's going on here. As for our defenders, we definitely need someone standing in front of Fire Whistle. When someone got behind or got on Fire Whistle and was able to cause her to lose her ability to attack, then everything just went downhill. How else can we do this? Yeah, I think if there's a unit that we have that can deal true damage, that would probably be good. I just don't know that we have any. Actually, I just looked it up, and we've got some. We've got more than I was thinking, actually. All right. I don't know that any of them are super reliable sources of it, but we do have the possibility of such. But yes, so the crabs need to be destroyed, and I need to figure out a way to make that happen. I don't know that we have a great way to do that, but we definitely need to figure something out. More damage could be good, and could be enough to at least let us survive a little bit longer. More HP would, of course, also be good. Yeah. We can give Croissant pretty decently high stats. Of course, again, we could do more damage. Alright, I think some of this is just going to have to be thinking that I do off-stream, because we are getting close to the end of our time here today. have, looking at the wiki, the crabs have 4,000 defense and 90 resistance. So there's really not a whole lot we can do to them. Honestly, just attacking faster is probably the best thing that we could possibly do. Because, yeah, to that end, Marciel's probably not a terrible choice, but she's definitely not the best choice. Because, you know, she can attack a lot faster, but she can only attack so much faster. An operator with Tactile Chant perhaps even would do better than that. But yes, Amia could, Steward wouldn't. Yeah. His talent will, for sure, make sure that Steward attacks the... Will for sure make sure that Steward attacks the drones. But... yeah, he's not going to attack that fast, though. Oops. Amia could be a decent choice. Yeah, honestly, I think that the best we could possibly do is just attack faster. To that end, we could probably deploy Ash. Ash might even be, like, the optimal choice, because we can get supporting fire up very quickly if we deploy her with the berry, on the berry. Susi. I don't know. I don't want to use Ash. I want to avoid using Ash unless I feel like there's no other choice. Not because I dislike Ash in any way, but because I want to, again, avoid brute forcing this with just really strong units. Of course, I'm not using Ash just because she's strong. I'm using her because I feel like her skill would specifically be beneficial to this, which is not necessarily brute force, and could be taken as strategy. But, yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot of other good choices for this. Yes, we need some way to deal damage faster to the slugs, or the crabs. The slugs need to be deleted as well, but they mostly need to be dealt with so that we can have cooking ingredients. Wood? We'll pick up a shiny berry. Okay, look. They won't go out of their way to get a shiny berry. Yeah, so these are all normal enemies that will count against us. Bombtail G. Yeah? Any thoughts on either of these? Not really. Yeah, we've seen them before. We kind of know what their deal is. So yeah, we need the berry slugs killed very quickly. We need the basic slugs killed pretty fast. Yeah, we need these killed consistently. We need these killed consistently. We need some way to distract the bombtail so that they don't attack ranged units that we would rather have alive. But we also can't place anything like in around here in such a way that they could attack, because we want to place Glaucus here or so. Yes, here or here. Preferably here so she can cover more ground, but that requires us to be even more careful with our deployment. Because those bombtails that come out of here, I think, you know, they fly low enough that they could potentially target her first if we don't have a more inviting target for them up here. But again, who we place up here is really a big, big question. Once we're through some of the worst of this, we shouldn't necessarily have that much trouble, but it's still a big, big question. Honestly, now that we've established what we have about the crabs, and I'm not going to do a full level attempt here, I think it might be worth trying just to see how much K of A is able to swing this, basically.
We'll be back with the best results you ever did see.
Yeah, skip ahead a little bit. Deploy Chill Chuck early. Again,
おい敵多すぎだろ
I'm not a huge fan of using Chill Chuck in this mission in general, to be honest. Or, I'm not a huge fan of using Chill Chuck all that much, broadly speaking. Because I feel like he's just not tremendously reliable, is the issue. Fire Whistle. I forgot to deploy Fire Whistle.
In position and ready to light.
俺のせいにすんじゃねえぞ
Here I am.
Alright. So I don't know if Fire Whistle and Chill Chuck are going to be enough. They were not. If I deployed Fire Whistle a little bit sooner, she probably would have been, but such is life. Croissant.
Here we are. Hey.
Okay. And we might.
Arrived at designated position. Treatment
Yes,
target
in fact.
sighted.
We were able to heal Chill Chuck.
I've got a
Yes.
way to treat you here.
Cook pot is ready to cook. Alright, so things are going to go a lot better now.
いつになったら終わるんだよ
Okay, because yes, more attack is just going to be much, much better in every way. Again, when and how and where we deploy Glaucus is a huge question. She has a pretty good amount of attack.
Let's take no matter
She doesn't
what
have,
trouble we're in.
well,
I'll face it together with all
she
of
does
you.
25% more damage
打
against
撃は
drones,
与えられねえからな
which would, yeah, that would be, okay. So 450 about, 25%, so 1/4 of that would be, yeah, about 112 or so, or no, 112 or so extra damage, or extra attack. And again, Cruz has
Sure.
580. So yes. So it wouldn't be. She would still have less attack than Cruz, but she does do arch damage. I think she also attacks slower though, which is something of an issue.
This one's for you.
With this though, we are able to heal pretty decently well. So yes, I think Bay. Okay, so we definitely. Okay, we need to
Target marked.
do something.
That ain't gonna work on me. Here
I don't know that I've done anything that I should have done here, but we've definitely done something. Bay.
Still my prey.
Please kill.
Here I am.
Alright, we need more food.
いつになったら終わるんだよ
Okay, Laios is alive, and that's good.
There you are. Initiation given mode enabled.
Kayabe is
俺
Kayabe.
のせいにすんじゃねえぞ
No, okay, because it got the berry. Okay, how did we survive this before? Was it my seal? Okay. I guess I said this wasn't going to be a
Don't
full
get
attempt, and it
discouraged.
kind of
We
was,
still
but...
have a chance.
Okay, well, one way or another, though, we have pretty solidly established that our team currently does not have what it takes, I think. At least, I need to be a lot... I need to... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, to be honest. I don't know why it kind of worked, but also kind of didn't work. Yeah, leveling up our units would probably help. I mean, it would definitely help. It's never not going to help. Is Cruz a suboptimal choice for this? I mean, probably, but... Probably. Almost certainly. Cruz... Wait, hold on. Hold on. Cruz has 446. Oh, hold on. Was I looking at 446? That. Okay. So she actually has less attack than Glaucus. Interesting. So, that changes some things. Because that means that we can actually rely on Glaucus. Okay, because I was seeing her attack numbers after she was on the field with the boost from the berries. Or with the boost from the cooking. So that explains a lot. Okay. So yeah, again, we do want to take out the bomb tails, or at least make them not attack our units as early on. To that end, we might want to deploy Manticore. Yeah, Manticore or Ethan. I don't know if either one would be any better than anyone else. Oh wait, no, they'd be worse because they have decreased targeting priority. So they would actively not draw attention away. Yeah. Once we get to a certain point, we need the lower levels cleared as well. Yes, we need these crabs killed faster. Like, that is a huge part of this. We need them killed faster. Well, once again, I'll have to figure it out some other time, because we are definitely out of time for today. So, thank you for joining me tonight. It has been a pleasure as always. But yes, a lot of thinking needed to be done here, but we're getting there. We'll get there. So, time to wrap up. If anyone has any raid suggestions, as always, I would be delighted to hear them. If not, I can find a target on my own. And yes. Yeah, I think one thing, we are just going to probably level up our units, at least the Delicious and Dungeon units, somewhat anyway, just because I want to have them stronger, because I want to showcase them while we're doing this event. Rasan was doing her job perfectly fine. I'm getting distracted. Again, I can think of this off stream. So, let's refocus. Arknights has been today. Arknights will be tomorrow. Thursday, Atelier Yumiya. Friday, Saturday, possibly more Arknights. We shall see how everything works out. But yes, Thursday and Friday streams should be around 9 to 9:30 p.m. Central Time. Every other stream should be around 8 p.m. Central Time, or 30 p.m. Central Time, rather. Okay, there we go. We've still got plenty of time. I don't need to panic about getting this event done. We've got 2 stages left, and we've got until, what, the 24th? So we've got almost a week. Granted, again, we're not going to be playing this game every day until then, but we've got a lot of time. So, no need to panic. There's plenty of room for more learning to be done. But yes. So, with all that being said, once again, let's wrap up. I'm not seeing any raid suggestions. So tonight, I think we're going to go and drop by Altariana, who is playing some Doom, it looks like. Or no, wait, that was someone else. Anyway, Alt is playing some Banjo-Tooie, actually. Or is it? Yes, Banjo-Tooie. Okay, I read it correctly. Yes, sorry. But yes, my frantic theorization about strategy has left me in a strange headspace, and had me reading just all sorts of different things, perhaps in the hope that I would find the key to my problems here somewhere. But anyway, so raid. Altariana. Yes, good friend of the stream, longtime collaborator and whatnot. Looks like Alt is playing with someone. Grim 5585. Yes, I don't know. I don't think that there's multiplayer in this game, so presumably they're doing perhaps some sort of race or something to that effect. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so one way or the other, the customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. And so, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. And I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Let us get this raid underway.